Holy cow, that looks pretty awesome. Ugh, I hate it when you walk into a bar and someone just like throws a huge ice ball and freezes all your buddies and you just gotta finish your drink and get out because you can't do anything else. Well, anyways, looks like the Darkerverse is partnering with Aleph Zero. Some very exciting news coming out recently. The Darkerverse looks like a really cool metaverse, which is one reason I want to cover it in today's video. We're going to be jumping in, covering the Darkerverse team, talking about what exactly is going on with this project and why I think it's a really cool, unique idea for a metaverse. So let's go ahead and jump right in, but before we do, let me introduce myself. My name is Mac, and this is Cryptstar Staking, your #1 source of DeFi crypto news on the tube. Welcome to the channel, everybody. I'm really excited for today's video. Let's go ahead and jump right in here. So yeah, we have the Witcher animator launches Darkerverse game NFTs to bridge cyberpunk with horror. Marcin Kobelecki, who previously worked on video games The Witcher and Cyberpunk 2077, wants to bring a darker fantasy edge to the still nascent metaverse with the new project Darkerverse. So as you can see, he really takes the lore and the information from the Witcher project, from the Witcher books, and he puts it into a really, like, basically a masterpiece. I like this better than I like the Witcher films on Netflix.
The degree is arbitrary, the definition's blurred. If I'm to choose between one evil and another, I'd rather not choose at all. Just make it quick, Geralt.
I mean, he really goes deep and takes the sort of core of who the Witcher is and puts him into a short film. And I'm really excited to see him put this into the metaverse as well. I'm a bit tired of all of these Axie Infinities, these really cute metaverses that don't really take the dark side of human nature and bring it to the light. So I think that is basically what this Darkerverse is aiming to do. He is heading up the creative development of Darkerverse in collaboration with Aleph Zero. So as we know, Aleph Zero is a proof of stake blockchain that's launched in November 2021. So very young blockchain here. He also was the executive producer in the Oscar-nominated animated short film The Cathedral, which was directed by Tomasz Baginski. So I'm kind of thinking, they mentioned this guy, Tomasz, many times in this article, actually twice, I should say. So I'm kind of curious to see if Tomasz Baginski jumps into this as well. He seems like a very creative gentleman, and it'd be really exciting to see him jump on this project. Fingers crossed. Anyways, he tells Decrypt that his background in computer animation and special effects on games like The Witcher is helping drive the development of Darkerverse. So he's taking his imaginative, creative sort of translation abilities and he's bringing it to make a new metaverse that's kind of different from other metaverses out there right now. Kind of like what I said before, a lot of these metaverses, they're kind of jumping on the hype train and they're building kind of copies of Axie Infinity and very similar things without having much lore, without having a much creative side behind them, as well as they're not taking sort of the darker side of humanity and showing that because without the dark we can't have the light. And I think darkness is kind of the reason darkness is so beautiful is because it has shadow, and that shadow kind of brings more details to the story and more details to the lore than normal just like kind of lightweight animated things can. And a lot of these things look like a cash grab as well as a Ponzi scheme, and I don't think that they really do not want to give out this vibe. They want to be able to create a community with the Darkerverse and also be able to use the blockchain as a bridge for that community to the producers and the executives who are creating the films. Sorry, to the executives and the creatives that are creating the films. So the Darkerverse aims to change the perception of metaverse games as solely play-to-earn schemes. Its developers say that the goal is to produce a game developed by gaming industry professionals first, merging their expertise with blockchain technology. With Marcin's and his team's background, we're very excited to see what comes out of it. This came straight from the horse's mouth, the Aleph co-founder Antony Zolciak himself. So he is very bullish on this as well, and I believe Aleph Zero also, they're kind of trying to break the creative boundaries that have been set forth by previous blockchains, and they think that they can do this by reaching out to other types of sort of creative models rather than just the hype train that's coming out recently. Collaborators on this project, they include the popular Polish fantasy, science fiction, and horror writers Lukasz Orbitowski and Jacek Dugaj. So these guys, they write really great books, mostly in Polish. They do have some books in English. I looked them up, but I don't really recognize any of the names. However, did see that they have quite a great list of novels that are written in Polish. So I'm really excited to see what they do. I do know that Polish sort of lore and folklore is very, very popular and very interesting, and I really want to learn a lot more about it. So I'm excited that they're on the team and that they can kind of bring their culture and their skills to the project itself. For this product, there will be two tokens involved. Those are the tradable token, which is Spec, and a second token called God's Blood, and these will both be used in the game. And Aleph Zero is providing the underlying infrastructure, of course. They also plan to have some sort of DAO, and I think this is the plan to like go ahead and bridge the community with the Darkerverse, so you can vote on what happens in this really awesome metaverse. So if you're asking yourself, like, what is the Darkerverse? Where is it going to take place? What exactly is it going to be about? Is it going to be like The Witcher? Is it going to be like Cyberpunk? And the answer is it's not going to be like either necessarily. They're planning to kind of make it a sort of completely different type of metaverse than those two products, but they want to bring the creative minds and sort of combine their translation that they used in those two projects and bring those to the Darkerverse. So the Darkerverse takes players to the bowels of an ancient cosmic beast called Leviathan. Players will explore the city of Babylon, named after the Thelemic goddess, and I have to look that up. I don't know what that is. This transhumanist dystopia serves as the central hub for players to interact with one another, advance the story, and make complex moral choices. Zolciak says the team also refers to the work of Thomas Baginski. So, like I mentioned, Thomas Baginski, he comes up a lot in this article. So, I'm kind of curious if he's going to jump on this product as well. So jumping down here, he says, like I just mentioned, it won't be The Witcher, but it will be different from Cyberpunk as well. This will be a mixture of Guillermo del Toro and his creatures. So let's take a look at Guillermo del Toro and his creatures and see what that's about right after this. Okay, so we'll highlight that. As Kobelik explains, the Darkerverse is still in its initial stages of development, and the medium in which the game will appear has not yet been decided. So we do not know if it will be a standalone application or be a website application, so we have to figure it out. I really hope they make this into a video game for both Mac and PC. Personally, I am kind of tired of these web application games, but it would be nice to have a sort of web application game to see your NFTs and stuff before they actually launch the main game, so that way they can build the community and the lore and everything on a website, and then from there slowly build the backend 4K game. That would be awesome in my opinion. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into this Guillermo del Toro and his creatures and see what that's about. So if you kind of Google up the Guillermo del Toro, you can see they have all these crazy looking creatures, these crazy looking horror films, and I think it'd be great if they could bring this guy along to the onto the creative set. He creates some really cool looking monsters, but it looks like, yeah, some really creepy looking creatures, and looks like some Avatar stuff going on here. Looks kind of Avatar-y. But yeah, I think they're gonna basically try and create an extremely dark, creative monster set for this game. Let's go and take a quick look at Marcin Kobelecki's profile and see what exactly he's about here. So you can see he created many different short films for The Witcher, as well as Cyberpunk 2077. I really like this video, but I definitely liked The Witcher 2 as well as The Witcher 3 videos the most. Let's go ahead and let's jump into The Witcher 2 and then see exactly who he worked with on this project. So if you look at this sort of the project list of people who worked on this project, you can see Pietro Sakura as well as Tomek Baginski. Tomek Baginski comes up again. Dun, dun, dun. Now let's take a look at one more, The Wild Hunt here. Let's go see if Tomek Baginski shows up here. All right, so the director, Tomek Baginski. I'm really curious to see if Tomek Baginski is going to jump into this project or not. This was also directed by Tomek Baginski. So, yeah. CD Projekt Red. Now, the thing is, it was all done by the same production companies. It kind of makes sense that it's the same, director, but super excited, super stoked for Darkerverse. If you're excited as well, please leave a comment. Let me know what exactly you're excited about. If I missed anything in this video, also please let me know in the comments. I really want to cover as much as I can about the Darkerverse in the future, so I'm trying to stay on top of things. If there's any information you guys know out there that I don't know, please just let me know. Anyways, thank you guys for viewing. I really hope this helped you guys get a better understanding of what the Darkerverse is. Have a great day. Peace out.